This one is very interesting. Over 1,800 years ago, there's a very popular drinking game among the intellectuals. Hi, I'm Andy. Today I'm gonna share some basic knowledge of Chinese garden with you. Okay, let's go. So you can see on the plaque there's 4 characters, 师法自然,巧夺天工. That means learn from nature and exquisitely craftsmanship. That is the Chinese garden's characteristics. So every garden, it doesn't matter the owner, it's the emperor or high ranking official or intellectuals. The first is his idea. It's the soul of the garden. Because everyone has his own experience and feeling. So your garden is to express your feeling. So here is the layout of the garden, a very common layout for imperial garden is called 1 pond 3 islands, because the Chinese, especially the emperor, they believe the immortals lived on the 3 islands on the East Sea. So lots of gardens, they have the man-made island there. So here is some technique of the Chinese garden building. The first one is called, we call it block view or surprise view. That means when you enter the garden, your view was blocked in the beginning. So you have to turn over, zigzag, and you will see more. And here, this one is called a boring view. That means the garden, outside the garden, there is some scenery, so you can see from inside. This one is called a frame view. That means you're looking through the door or the window, and it's just like a frame. And the view was in the frame. This one is very interesting. Over 1,800 years ago, and there's a very popular drinking game among the intellectuals. That means all those intellectuals, they sit along a creek, and they will put one floating drinking cup made of lacquer or wood, and put it in the stream, and the water will flow and the cup will follow the current. When the cup passed by one guest, and he have to write one poem. If he failed, he have to drink the alcohol. So that was very, very interesting. So that means this drinking game is not easy. So you have to be well educated and smart. In a very short time, you can write a poem. So the basic elements of Chinese garden is mountain, water, plant, and buildings. And here you can see some glacier tile from Imperial Garden in Beijing. You can see the dragon pattern on it. And also they have the color painting from the Temple of Heaven. So here is the very important structure in the garden. We call it the Ting pavilions, or different kind of pavilions. So the garden, the theme, what they chased is make the people who lived in the garden forget the worry, for people stay there for a few days, they will forget to go home. And for the tourists, they will forget the Taiwanese. That's the best garden. So here's the corridor. Corridor is connect different buildings and separate the space in the garden. And here is the hall. That's the main hall in the garden. Here you can see this is the bridge and the hall beside the water. Here is the marble boat or stone boat. Chinese people, we have our own imagination. We like the stable boat. Okay, so here is the basic technique of building Chinese garden is 多山离水, the management of the mountain and the water. So you can see here is a different technique to pile, compose the stone together. Those not rockery, they were made of concrete. But just to give you a glimpse of feeling of the Chinese garden. So those stones were like the bamboo shoot. You can see ancient craftsmen, they are building the rockery. So this we call it setting the stone. This stone very unique. They're from the bottom of a freshwater lake from South China. And another one important is the plant, the flowers and trees. So you can see apricot, pine, bamboo, peony, banana. This one I don't know, willow, wisteria. So those plants make your garden vivid and have a flavor of life. And here is the Chinese people, the plant or flower we love, the plum, bamboo, orchid, chrysanthemum, and we call them the four gentlemen because they blossom or evergreen in the winter. So that's the virtue of the gentleman. And also they have the flower beds and the antique trees, old trees. And here is some outdoor display. And also you see the floor pattern. They use the colored cobble paved on the ground to make a painting, and also the different style of the window on the wall. So here's the first steps to build a garden. First is the like the feng shui study. You have to study the feng shui of the land. The second one is layout, the blueprint, how you design the garden. And the third one is building the garden. And when you're finished, you have to maintain it. And here's the tools people used to build the garden. And this one is old one, and it's called the Luban ruler. Luban is the ancestor of the carpenters. So he was well respected in China. Okay, that's all. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.